So I was scrolling through YouTube and I found this video from Jubilee, if Christians were 100% honest, and I decided to react to it and give my opinion on some of the things they brought up.
There is something wrong with LGBT people.
Well, first of all, there's something wrong with everyone. Every human is a sinner. No one is perfect. There's always going to be something that makes a person unworthy of going to heaven, some sort of imperfection. But the good thing is, Christ died for us, taking the blame for us, so we can just ask for forgiveness and work on ourselves to make ourselves better, so we can try again. But I think what they're trying to get with this question is the people themselves. Is there something wrong with them? At least I think that's what they're trying to get with the question. Obviously, it's a sin, the things they are doing, and that's what's wrong with them. If you look at them as people, again, there's obviously something wrong with them because they are people like everyone else. Apart from that, I haven't really got anything else to say.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, so there's 5 agreeers, 2 disagreeers. I am curious to see what the disagreeers say.
But saying that like LGBTQ plus whatever people, there's something wrong with them as people, as human beings. That's a harsh statement. So
Why is that a harsh statement? It's not true. It's not something, like I said before, there's nothing. It's not that there's something wrong with them specifically. There's something wrong with everyone. It's not a difficult concept to understand. There's something wrong with everyone.
it's a hard topic.
Every single human being is wrong.
Okay, there we go. At least one of them agrees with what I said.
If you ask that question, are homosexuals is wrong? Well, sure. But are they a different type of wrong? No, they're not a different type of wrong.
What do you mean a different type of wrong? I mean, they're still sinners. It is a sin what they're doing. I don't know what you mean, but a different type of wrong. A sin is a sin.
They are the
really
same
it.
wrong as I am.
And I'm gonna skip over most of what they're saying, not because I don't want to put it into the video, but because I don't want to go over what every single person says over every single topic. I much rather look at the ones that have a differing opinion to me. And I want to see their arguments and see what I say on that. I will leave the link to the full video in the description if you want to go and watch that. So feel free to do that. I'm not going to stop you from doing that.
Goodness.
Women who get abortions are murderers.
Okay, this one, I hope that all the Christians are going to say yes, that they are murderers because, well, they're killing an innocent baby's life, and that is murder. It's unjustified. You can't kill a child just because you don't want to have a child. That's the end of it. I've seen this before, so I'm pretty sure they all agree on this one. I think they do at least. Alright, there we go. So all 7 of them agreed and none disagreed, so that's good at least. At least I can agree, we can all agree on the same topic as Christians in this video specifically.
I have had sex outside of marriage.
Me? No, I have not had sex outside of marriage. I am too young to get married, and I don't plan on having sexual relations with my girlfriend before marriage, so really not much else I can say there. I haven't, and I don't plan to. And I'm curious to see how many people agree and disagree, and if there are disagreeers, I'm pretty sure many of them, 1 or 2 of them say that it's before they became a Christian they were doing these things, and that's understandable. We can't really judge them based on that, because well, they are now Christian. They're working towards fixing that sin, I hope, and I hope that they've moved on from that life and are bettering themselves now.
Oh my God.
So, first off, there's 2 agreeers and 5 disagreeers, but just watch how it changes.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm at the right light now.
So yeah, as you saw, it then changed to 4 agreeers and 3 disagreeers. So I'm curious as to why people change their mind. If it's true, just say it then. You're being 100% honest in this video, aren't you? So why are you changing your mind?
Everyone was doing it. We're on many cycles with that. Like, I've had an orgy with females.
This I'm absolutely disgusted and appalled by. An orgy with other women as a woman? No. That's just absolutely appalling.
I've had, that one person you can just hit up anytime you want to, and they're available.
This is just degrading of another human being. You are just literally degrading them to an object of pleasure, something you can use quickly and then get rid of as soon as you're done. That's just horrible. You shouldn't be doing that.
At some point you have to stop avoiding a sin, because God hates not sinners, but the sin, because it comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I'm now married, and my husband abstained till marriage, and he has had to deal with the repercussions of my sin in the past.
Well, I'm glad that she's now married and that her husband was able to abstain from it in his own life, which I'm happy for, and I'm glad she's moved on from the sin, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I wasn't saved until I was 20, and before that time, I did have sex outside of marriage.
Now, like I said, their life before becoming a Christian, they most likely did fall into that sin, so not much to say there.
And when I was first becoming Christian, I would hear people say, oh, you can't have sex outside of marriage. And I said, okay, well, I'll do everything else, but I won't do that one thing, because that's a really hard thing to give up.
Now, just because it's hard to give up doesn't mean you can just leave it and just still live a Christian life with it. That's the point. If it's difficult to give up, it means it's going to be better once you've given it up, once you've gone past that sin and that temptation. Once you've defeated that passion within yourself, you're going to have a much better life afterwards. It's going to be difficult, it's going to be at times maybe even annoying, and you feel like you want to give up, but the point is to suffer so that you can then overcome it and be better in the end.
Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell.
Now, this question, I'm kind of in the middle on this one, because it says anyone who isn't a Christian. Now, there's really only 2 categories of non-Christians. There's people who have heard of Christ and rejected him, and then there's people who haven't heard of Christ. So there's no way they could have rejected him if they haven't heard of him. So the way I see it, those who haven't heard of Christ, for example, people in the Old Testament, they've never heard of Christ, they didn't know. And so, because God is just, he's going to judge them on the morals that are within them, the morals that every person is born with, that God bestowed onto them. And so, because, like I said, God is just, he's going to judge them on those. And depending on that, will depend if they go to heaven or hell. Now, the other group of people who have heard of Christ, but actively rejected him, like, I don't know, for example, people who have left the church, or of people of other faiths who actively heard about Christ, heard about his teachings, but decided, no, that's not for me, thank you very much, you can go away. For those people, I want to say most likely yes. I don't want to sound like I'm condemning people to hell, like, oh, you didn't listen, so you're going to hell. It sounds like that's what I'm doing, I know, but from what I have read and from what I know in my religion, that's just how it works. If you reject it and actively go against it, you're going to get what you want. You're not going to end up in heaven with him. That's just the way it is. So with this question, statement, I'm kind of in the middle on it.
Yeah, for me, this one's a pretty easy one. John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If we're Christians, when we say we believe in the Bible, either we believe what Jesus said or we don't.
Yeah, it's a tough sentence to answer, and to be honest, I suppose I can't just flatly say yes or no, so it's tough. But with that being said, what does Christian really mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. Why?
See, even quite a few people on the panel and in the video also agree that it's not a very black and white question. It depends on the person as well. So at least we can also agree on that.
I'm scared of dying.
Now, this next one, it's very difficult because I can say that I'm not scared of dying. Perhaps I'm just not scared of death, but the process of dying, that is probably the part that most people, or at least I am, definitely scared of. If I'm walking on the edge of a cliff, I might not be scared of dying and no longer being alive, but I'm definitely going to be scared of falling down and injuring myself while falling, or if I fall and I'm still alive, then I'm going to be in agonizing pain. That I'm definitely scared of, and I think lots of people here are going to share the same view.
To live is Christ, and to die is gain.
That is true. I'll agree with that there. I don't remember exactly where the verse is from, but I'll probably put it up on now.
That's my father's favorite verse. We are gaining eternal life. We are gaining a new faith. We are gaining a new body. We are gaining everything. Not that being here doesn't have its joys, but to be with him, obviously, is
It's the best. Yeah. I always say I can't wait to die. My mom hates it. I always saying, it's like, God, take me now. Not suicidal, but I always say, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, I agree with that. Many people might look and think, yeah, they're suicidal or they're crazy or something, but no, it's just we can't wait to be with God. We want to be with Him. Like, obviously, we're going to live our lives out for as long as He wants us to live them out. But we're eager to go and see Him finally after waiting our entire lives. It's an amazing feeling to actually be able to go with Him. There is a story about a monk who was dying in a monastery. I will put a link down to a video about it in the description, but essentially while he was on his deathbed, he was telling his brothers around him that he saw angels getting ready to take him away, and he told the angels, no, wait for me, just leave me here for a little bit, I still want to keep repenting. But when he did see the angels, his face lit up. He was crying from the joy of finally coming to the moment where he's going to meet his Lord. It was very beautiful.
I know. My sister and I, we're always like, God, just come take us. Like, we don't want to be here anymore.
I look forward to the day where I see the saints gathered, worshiping Christ, and I could cry about it. It is going to be so surreal and so beautiful, and
that's true. I definitely agree with that.
death is just the way to get there.
That's also true. Death is just how we're going to get there. It might be painful for the people around you and the people you love, the people you know, those close to you, who for you your entire life, but it has to happen. It just does.
Yeah.
I fear losing my non-believer friends and family.
Now, this statement, I think it's targeted more at, like, for example, you try and live your life out following the Lord, and you do things as a Christian, but your family doesn't want to do it. So, you know, your family and your friends, they don't live the same life, so they end up you end up losing contact with them, and you end up not talking to them, maybe not seeing them as much. And however sad that may be for many people sometimes can't live with it. But however difficult it is, that's just the way it is. If the Lord has taken them out of your life, then there is a very good reason behind it. You may not know why, but it is that way. That's just the way it is. And no, I do not fear losing my friends or family, because my non-believer friends or family, because I trust that wherever they are, the Lord will be with them, and hopefully they can find them as well.
It would be the greatest pain to go to heaven and not see your siblings there.
Also, I forgot to mention, yeah, that question could have been talking about, that statement could have been talking about not seeing your non-believer friends and family when in heaven, if you go to heaven. And that I haven't got much to say about that. It's just they didn't want to live the same life as you following Christ, and that's what they chose. You can't force them out of it.
I mean, my dad isn't saved, and half my family are Catholic, and I can't imagine a more miserable place than away from the perfect creator of all things.
In John 6, Jesus says that of all those that the Father has given me, I will not lose one. And so God is faithful and just, and I trust God that he will save all of his people. I do pray for my loved ones who are unbelievers.
As we all should. We should pray for those we know that are non-believers and don't try to follow Christ.
Share the gospel with them. But ultimately, I know it doesn't depend on me. Salvation is in his hands. So it's not for me to fear or worry.
In the Bible, it says that it's God's will for everyone to be saved. But at the same time, the truth is that not everyone will. When I was an unbeliever, I would always wonder, why are Christians always wanting to shove their beliefs down my throat? We know what the Bible says, that people will go to hell. And if we don't tell people about it, that blood is almost on our hands.
That is also true. I will agree with that. It is also said somewhere in scripture that I'm probably going to miss this horrendously, but the gate to heaven is narrow, or something like that. I'll put the quote up on the screen, but the point is it's very difficult and to get into heaven, and not many people will, not everyone will. And so as this gentleman here said, he always thought about, why do Christians push their beliefs down many people's throats? That's because we want to try and get as many people as we can to see the truth in Jesus Christ and to follow him, because we know not everyone will, for whatever reason, but we want to help as many people as we can.
And I do fear that there will be people that I know and love who won't ever come to God, but I know that there is still hope for them.
We'll have you put your masks back on.
And I think I'll end up there. I know this wasn't the greatest of commentaries or reactions, but I hope I did an alright job, and I'll see you in the next one.